Ever feel like you need a tool for everything? From opening bottles to navigating roads, we rely on gadgets every day. But imagine living with nothing. No knives, no phones, not even fire. That was the reality of our ancestors. Until one day, everything changed. We take tools for granted. But there was a time when humans had none. And survival depended on bare hands and teeth, which weren't nearly enough. Africa, 2.5 million years ago. A group of hominids is scavenging the carcass of a zebra. One of them, a young female, is searching for something. She sees a stone, picks it up, and examines it. She walks over to her friends who are picking at the bones and trying to extract the marrow. She turns the stone over in her hand, then brings it down on a femur with all her might. The bone cracks, splinters, and breaks. And suddenly marrow, fat, and blood gushes out onto her hands. Her friends, startled by the sudden movement, stop eating and stare at her. She looks back at them, then at the bone in her hand, then back at the carcass. And she smiles. That moment, a rock striking another rock, was humanity's first upgrade. A simple stone flake became our original power-up, the first of many that would allow us to conquer the world. A sharp flake became a claw, a hammerstone, a fist of stone. With tools, the weak became hunters, the fragile survivors. It was an extension of our hands, our jaws, our strength, our intelligence. Nothing more, nothing less. But it wasn't just survival. The real leap was imagination, the ability to see a rock not as it was, but as what it could become. That mental shift was the birth of technology. From that first stone tool, every tool since, the wheel, the steam engine, the phone in your pocket, traces back to that chipped stone. With tools, humans didn't just adapt to nature, we began to rewrite it. We tamed plants and animals. We built homes and cities. We explored and conquered. We flew to the moon and back. All because we took a rock and made it ours. Of course, that's a huge oversimplification. The truth is much more complex. There were probably dozens of stone tools before the first proper ones. There are so many gaps in the archaeological record that we can't possibly know how and why our ancestors invented tools. But we do know this. Everything we've accomplished as a species, everything we've built, invented, or imagined, it all started with one thing: a handful of rocks. Our earliest ancestors were small, frail things, barely a meter tall. Their brains were tiny, their lifespan short. They were slow to walk, weaker than most animals. In short, they weren't particularly gifted. So they did what any sensible species would do to survive. They ran away. They hid. They hoped to be ignored. But nature doesn't care about your hopes, and there were predators that were faster, stronger, more cunning. Humans weren't particularly gifted, but they were persistent. If one way didn't work, they tried another. And eventually, those efforts turned into tools, weapons, shelters, clothing, language, art, philosophy, space travel. It all came from that initial spark. It's easy to take tools for granted. After all, they're just rocks and sticks. But they're also our connection to the past, proof that 2.5 million years ago, something remarkable happened, a cognitive leap, a change in how our brains process the world. It's hard to overstate its importance, and yet almost nothing remains of it today. No artifacts, no buildings, no statues survived the last 2 million years. All we have are a few scrappy bones and teeth and a handful of stones. But those stones tell a story of struggle and triumph, of a species that refused to be victim to its environment and instead made it bend to their will. With every new tool, humans expanded their influence across the globe. We domesticated wild plants and animals. We developed new ways of hunting and gathering. We invented plows and axes and fishing nets. We sailed across oceans, climbed mountains, delved into the earth. With each passing generation, we altered the landscape, reshaping it to suit our needs. And inevitably, other species paid the price. Many went extinct, but that's the story of evolution. Change is inevitable. Adapt or die. For humans, adapting meant making spears to hunt, and hammers to build, and wheels to explore, and computers to connect. All because of that first stone, that first leap of imagination, the idea that you could take something natural and make it work for you. The ripple effect continues today. Every innovation, every technological advancement builds on what came before. Every machine is a testament to human ingenuity, and it all traces back to that chipped stone. The first tools weren't just rocks and sticks, they were our ancestors' first step into imagination, into cooperation, into destiny. They were the beginning of us.